I think people need this right now. Yeah,
Mhm.
this kind of uh, really, it's a source connection that allows a widening and then a stillness and peace. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Transmission complete.
Sure.
Welcome to Love Magic Miracles. I'm Alina GG, and if you're a soul-led entrepreneur who wants to make a big impact in the world, you're in the right place. And if you'd love to weave feminine embodiment into your everyday and quantum leap every area of your business and love life to new heights, then plug into these conversations with these inspiring thought leaders and hit subscribe, comment, like, and share with someone you care about today. Hello, it's Alina GG, and I have a very special guest for you today. I have Michael Muir. He is a somatic therapist and a light language channel. Welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks for the invitation to come and do the podcast. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, my
Mm,
pleasure. I trust the divine timing of it all, and we've got some
mm,
exciting topics today, including nervous system support,
yeah,
mind body connection,
yeah,
light language channeling and activation. Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I guess just talking about the intensity of these times. Just because so
Mm-hmm.
much is going on in the world, so much is shifting, so much is really. I mean, many of us in the spiritual community have spoken about these times for a while, since 2020 and the beginning of the COVID years. How there's a dismantling of the old structures, both externally and internally, so that we can actually um, rise in our ascension energy, if you will, or rise in our consciousness as a collective. And of course, that is challenging as we come up against um, parts of ourselves that we don't like, or parts of ourselves that emerge from the shadow as the old structures break down in the outside world. That also, I feel, is happening on our inner world, in our lives, individually and collectively. So there's a lot of extra pressure I feel on people these days, whether it be financial, whether it be psychological, or uh, or just the world, or what's playing out in the world with the war, etc. Yeah. So I feel like we're really having to practice more and more self-regulation of our nervous system and really support our well-being. Um, in a more disciplined way than maybe we had to before, because there's more pressure on us individually and as a collective. And so that is rippling out. And I think also at the same time as the pressure just being on the planet, there's a lot of energies coming in, cosmic energies. That's why I work with light language, that are coming in, that also are kind of disrupting and dismantling and releasing density from our field, which then brings out kind of the emotion and the and physical symptoms sometimes, that also kind of put pressure on the system. So there's a lot of pressure coming at us from all four areas, all dimensions. And I feel like we really do need a spiritual practice, as we were saying before went live, working with the body and the mind, which is why I picked that for some of the topic. And and it's funny, I did a podcast last week, and I've been so gung ho about light language and channeling for quite a few years now, because that's where my soul has led me. But I'm also, interestingly, returning to some of the somatic work and the body work and the body mind connection to support people at this time, because there's such a need for it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. That rings true. Everything you just said is like bang on, and thank you for illuminating all of that so beautifully. Yeah.
And so I feel really with, say, for example, with the somatic work, I started studying that around 2000, around the 2000 mark. And that was a 4-year course, and it was a really deep dive. It's a shame that the small therapy college is closed. That was back in Sydney. But
Mhm,
it was a 4-year training, part time, and it was a profound deep dive into the body and the
mhm,
mind. So I was working with the we worked with the hands-on body work. So that's energetic, nervous system, therapeutic touch. And that's really about touching the person with presence and awareness. So you're inviting them to become present in themselves, feel connected, and that allows them, A, to feel more solid in themselves and more present. And also, if they do feel like they get a bigger capacity to deal with difficult sensations and emotions. So we're talking about um, really the um, the sort of coming home to yourself at a deeper level as a
Mm.
resource. So
Mhm.
if you're more embodied in yourself, the
Mm.
world can't knock you around as much. So that's really what I feel like the somatic work helps with, especially if you come from a startled or a frightened family system, or felt like you had an early didn't feel safe in your early years. Somatic work really helps you stabilize and strengthen, because a lot of these narratives that have been pumped out into the collective field are really bringing up a lot of survival issues for people right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on that, that dropped
Mm,
into my awareness, before this call. I was like,
mm, mm,
"Okay, yes, we're opening up to hold greater light in our bodies and our
mm,
energetic systems." However,
mm, mm,
part of me feels like this last week, I'm kind of in a little bit of that survival energy again, that
mm.
survival mode, and not because of I'm not watching the news. I don't engage with that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
more in my
yeah,
own life trying to start within, and because you can never have create world peace unless you have peace within first, right?
for sure. But even if you're not, I think that's the one of the things about this time that we're living in. There's so much of that survival energy around. You
Mm.
know, even if you're not watching it on the socials or TV, it's almost like it's there. It's present
Mhm.
in the field. It's
Yeah.
hard not to, if you're sensitive or empathic,
Yeah.
it's hard not to feel some of that. I mean, of course, we've all also got our own stuff going on at the same time in our lives.
Mhm.
But so then it really is about foundation, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think this fear, the survival fear, comes out up, you know, obviously it's the lower three chakras, um, base survival issues, sacral and solar plexus where it sits, yeah?
Yeah.
And
And Muladhara in the earth, grounding,
yes,
security,
yeah,
rooted into the earth. That's the thing. And innocence, isn't it? Like there's that
yeah.
innocence and that grounding of our Muladhara root chakra. Yeah.
And
It's
so
there.
if that is, and I think, you know, because there's, and I personally feel like there's a wobble going on, not
Mhm.
just in people, but also I think the Earth's shifting as well, yeah? So
Mm.
in in regards to, as we it's a sort of reciprocal relationship between, um, how what we're going through personally and what she's going through. And so
Mm.
I feel like, you know, the ground's changing. So the our ground is not what it used to be. You know, all these old structures are collapsing, or there's fear about the future, blah, blah, blah. So I
Yeah.
feel like it is really wobbling. Also, I feel like there's something going on under the earth that is changing too, through the cosmic energies that are coming in. So it's like there's no real, the solidity isn't there right now, I feel,
Mhm.
in the world, above or below. I think it's all shifting. So I think that's why we have to practice the body work, the meditation practices, and there's a guy coming doing my fire alarms today. So if you hear a little whirring in the background, I'm sorry for
That's okay. I'll probably have the neighbors barking dogs, but that's cool.
that. But basically, I do feel like, you know, again, disruption taking me out of presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's coming back to your center, coming back to your base, and feeling strong, working with your body, working with your meditation practices, working with healers and therapeutic coaches if you feel to. And that's for the importance of the body mind connection, because we hold ourselves in our body how we hold our mind, and our mind also um, is representative of how we are in our body. So if we change one, we can shift the other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That just landed even deeper when you said that for me. Like I had the intellectual awareness around that, but then when you just said that, I was like, whoa, it's so true. Yeah. And also, what just sprung into my mind was joy and humor and pattern disrupting. So, when we're in the frequency of joy, We're not
Mm,
like, that's such a high vibration, so if we can even if we're having, chaos going on in and around
mm,
us, if we can
mm.
have some humor or a joke, and I notice on your socials, sometimes you put up a funny meme and, like, you just
I
nail
think
it.
it's yeah. Well, I
Whatever
think
you
you
put up, I'm like, "Yes."
I think I do that intentionally because I think we do need to have a laugh, and
Mm.
we do need to poke at the seriousness of it all. Because I mean, even just on a somatic level, for example, if you're laughing, it's increasing your breath. It's working with your central diaphragm, and that is helping for your body to feel more at ease, yeah? So if we can trick our body into feeling safe, yeah?
Ooh, how?
Working with the kidneys, working with the
Mhm,
diaphragm, working with the breath. So if we can, if because when we get scared, yeah, the kidneys kind of, squish up a little and contract. And if we can have someone hold our kidneys, for example, from behind, just energetically be present in your hands, and just put your hands to the back of the kidneys. And you don't have to do much else. Just have positive intent, feeling love radiate from your heart to them, and that will help the kidneys to just soften a little. And as the kidneys soften, that sort of allows your central nervous system to switch off your sympathetic, which is the fight flight, and go into the parasympathetic. So we can do little things like that, or even holding the brainstem. Just gentle little body work practices. I've even been feeling it. I need to get back to doing a body work group with people to
mm,
to sit so that we can sit in community and do these harmony practices, because I feel like, just as you know through your own practices, doing a group of anything amplifies the field. And
mhm.
I think when we're been invited over and over to kind of be fearful and separate into our own little boxes, then I feel like that's the antidote at this time. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the isolation amplifies the separation of the ego, which believes it's separate from source.
Yeah, and then we just go into a downward spiral. So
Mhm,
I feel like we have to consciously at this time be resourcing ourselves, like making more of an effort to do the things that we know will support us. Because
mhm,
when we are in a fight flight scenario or feeling a little bit triggered by survival stuff, then we kind of go back into habitual patterning,
mhm,
which, has served us at one level when we were young or in our family system. However, now we know, we know in a bigger context that it doesn't support us anymore. Um, but it's just a habit, really. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that includes that feeling of anxiety, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
So again, anxiety, fear in the kidneys. So helping
okay.
your kidneys calm down, that will help.
Mhm,
Um, And also, if you're running on high cortisol, um, doing some yin yoga or doing some
mhm,
stretching of your fascia is really
yeah.
important. Slowing, it's how do you slow everything down? Yeah. Because
Mm,
really, I always think of anxiety as, um, you have your container is not big enough to hold all the energy that's moving around
mhm,
in you, and it's fast, and you're interpreting, and your body organism interprets that as unsafe and
mm,
danger, and then the mind goes anxiety, and we amplify. So then how do we temper it down? By
mhm,
noticing the sensations without deciding what they mean, that
okay.
it's dangerous, and
Mm,
also um, working with the body directly to stretch it, to expand it, or even moving vigorously like the gym, or a walk on the beach, just
mhm,
to diffuse the energy into the ground. Yeah,
great.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Wow, fantastic tips today. I mean, it's all there.
No, I think
Yeah,
so.
no matter what's going on for people. I mean, it's interesting because I was like, I had the
Mm,
message internally to go, I could do a nice stretch, and I haven't done it yet, and it was like
mm,
last night or this morning,
mm.
but I know today I gotta do that.
I
Yeah.
think and it doesn't have to be like a whole hour yoga class,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Just I think I remember one of my teachers back in the day in somatics, who was also a Buddhist, lineage, um, practitioner, and she was always saying, "Human beings are just not very good at moving towards well-being." That
Oh,
was her whole thing
wow.
was, you know, we are so programmed to sort of a little bit suffer in our own stuff,
Mhm.
and we have to really it takes a bit of time to get over ourselves to move towards well-being. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
simple, but
Mm.
sometimes we just don't do it?
Mhm.
Mm.
And then we beat ourselves up because we're like, "Oh, no, I didn't do it." And it's like that other downward
Yeah.
spiral. It's like an
For
animation.
sure. And that's why I think it's so useful to be in community because then we
Mm.
kinda can get some people to bounce off,
Mhm.
and we notice that we're all doing the same thing. We're
Mhm.
all kind of trying our best, failing here a little bit, giving ourselves a hard time, picking ourselves up, and then we can kinda laugh a little at it and go, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
gonna be okay. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely, and I feel like that's what true authenticity is. It's going, "Okay, well, we're all doing, what we can or our best or sometimes our
Mm.
best, sometimes not, but we're doing it, and if you have good intentions and you're spreading good vibes, then, keep going."
I mean, I think I want to just hark back to my early years. I mean, I came
Mhm,
from a very dissociated place when I first started
mm,
my journey. I did 10 years of somatic psychotherapy for me to
mhm,
really anchor in and ground myself before I started doing any channeling or light language. So it was very much um, a healing journey to come home first before I went up and connected with the cosmic energies, or I would have blown apart really and fragmented. So it was really important to do that inner work early, and also to because I was super shy, so it got me out of my own box and able to communicate and relate to people in a more functional way. So that then,
mm,
and also I did all these really deep group trainings that involved somatic bodywork, um, Buddhism,
mhm,
spiritual practice, combining all this stuff together, sitting in these groups with really great teachers that learned from really great teachers, such as Buddhist practitioners, Tibetan Buddhists themselves, that it really learned, it sort of overrode my early years of how to be a built body, and I'd be able
mhm,
to was able to learn how to sit in presence and hold group space in a really deep way. And I think that's why my work works is that I've got that therapeutic background of how
mm,
to hold a space from the somatic years and the Buddhist years, and
mm,
then on top of that, Um, I then opened my channel during the body work that I was training in somatic. That just came through naturally, and then I started to weave it all together. So I think it's been a lifelong journey for me to where I'm at. I know it's not over.
yeah,
I like keeping evolving the work
mm,
and who I am, but
mhm,
the reason I say all that is just if we often come from a place where our parents didn't really have a great nervous system themselves.
oh, yeah,
And that's
mhm,
not their fault, it's just their upbringing and down the lineage and the ancestral line. So
mhm,
I feel like it's important to surround ourselves with good people that have a regulated nervous system that have worked on that to kind of learn to do that through osmosis.
mm,
And I think that's really what group work is like meditation groups, all of that
mhm,
is really we're learning from each other how to be.
mhm,
And it's still a big practice for me. Now, if I get fearful, um, I can go into um, dissociation patterns or addictive patterns. And so it's really about coming back to my mind in the moment and be present and holding myself accountable without being too critical at the same time?
mhm,
Yeah.
hmm. So, so when you say come back to your mind, what do you mean? Because it's interesting because,
Mm.
we've both been doing a meditation practice lately, which
Yes.
is about thoughtless awareness.
Mm.
So can you just explain how that would integrate with that?
Oh, okay. When I say come back to your mind, I guess come back to, well, you could say stillness of mind, yeah?
Mm, mm,
Without making interpretation of where you're at. So it is
mhm,
similar.
mm,
Come back to your adult self now rather than maybe some patterns that have held you as a child or
mm,
some ways of being or thinking about yourself. Because I mean, even a very harsh inner critic is often from childhood, yeah? So
mm,
come back to the you version of you now
mhm,
as a perfect person, being
mm.
of light or whatever, um, that is doing the best they can. And don't be too critical if you fall off that wagon of,
Mm,
I don't know, of a self-regulated nervous system. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, and reminding ourselves that we're safe in this moment. I'm safe right now. I'm safe right now in this moment. Yeah.
yeah, because often when we're feeling fearful
Mm,
and unsafe, there's a bit of an inner conflict, and there's part of us internally saying to another part, "You're not okay. You're
mhm,
not allowed to feel this.
mhm,
There's something wrong with you, and therefore." And that creates a bit of anxiety in ourselves because we kind of start to erode our own self confidence by thinking we've done something wrong. However,
mhm.
often it's sort of sitting out there in beyond our awareness. Um, but suddenly we kind of are quietly self annihilating ourselves in the background.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a, what's the word where there's a word where something is kind of very subtle under the surface and it's not fully in your consciousness, but you're like you could be doing an activity, even like a domestic duty or a
Mm,
task, and you feel like something's off or something's not
mm,
right or
mm.
you're not. Yeah, it's very like I feel like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, insidious or something, it's, like, really,
Yeah.
really subtle, and I think because it's a pattern that is slightly under the subconscious, that
Mhm.
we've done for, all our lives, we
Mm.
don't notice it, and I think that's why the meditation, on thoughtless awareness and becoming more
Mm.
aware of who we are so that we can sit in a non-judgment of self and other, uh and then we get to witness these places in us that are kind of in the shadow, if you will, or underground that we kind of have just been doing autistically in our lives forever, you know? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And it's sometimes a bit of a shock, I feel. You think you're kind of doing pretty well, and then you realize another layer
Mhm.
as the energy shift and they sort of allow us to deepen into our consciousness and feel a deeper layer of awareness, we kind of get to see another part of ourselves that we didn't even know was there. And sometimes that's when the critical stuff can come in because we think, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, am I still doing that? Oh my goodness, is it da 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 da? But then at the end of the day, it's how do you hold yourself in acceptance of as you would a small child, really.
Mhm.
This new part of yourself's come into awareness. How do you hold it gently while you kind of work
Mm.
out how to be with it? Yeah.
Exactly. I was just feeling that this is inner child work really as well, because that's the part of us that needs to be loved, and it's like they need to express without judgment.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think because and this is why I think the cosmic energy or the planetary or the astrological energy coming in is so profound because it's at a cellular level or at an organic level. People talk about the movement of Um, people talk about the movement of the human, um, from carbon to crystalline, yeah? And
Mhm.
it feels like these energies that are coming in are sort of lighting up our DNA, are lighting up our awareness and our consciousness, and at the same time, they are forcing to the surface with their high frequency all our patterning that no longer serves. So it is super intense in that regard on top of everything else that's been playing out. But I think that is playing out because everybody has been activated to bring out their dross. And we can either be aware and kind of work with it, or we can act out and start a war. You know what I mean? It depends what
Yeah.
we wanna do.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And even that though, even this scenario we find ourselves, in now, I think it's all there so that we get provoked into more awareness of ourselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's the invitation. And yeah,
Mm.
and also forgiveness and letting go of guilt and forgiveness of
Mm.
self and others is so important.
Yep, beautiful. And also, I think allowing the energies of the emotions to move. So,
Mm.
there may be a day where you don't feel, um, where there's a part of you that feels more unexpressed, suddenly emerges and wants to have a tantrum about where things are at in the world, where you
Mhm.
are, where we're at personally in the world, you
Mhm.
know. And I think to move, like, that's the good thing about the somatic work is that we were encouraged to allow the energy to move,
Mhm.
not in a sort of knocking down houses kind of a way, but just expressive movement, breath, and sound,
Mhm.
different gentle exercises, just to allow flow, so that we don't hold these energies
Mm.
inside of us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So is punching a pillow a good thing or not?
I don't see why not. I think, right, so for example, somatically, yeah,
Yeah.
if we're holding on,
Yeah.
if we're holding, like, this is the heart chakra, yeah, this is uh, and the heart actually is an extension. The arms, when we're growing in the fetus, as a fetus in the womb, the actual tissue of the heart, the arms come out of it, yeah.
Mm.
So we have these heart channels go from here to here, yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're feeling really tense, uh, you know, uh, like holding on or like ragey almost, and if you go and
Yeah.
do that and make a bit of sound in the privacy of your own home or bedroom or wherever, then why not? I think that that allows that expansion and you'll feel freer and feel more released. It's better to do that
Mm.
than sort of run someone over.
Yeah, I'll say so.
It's better to let it out in a safe, contained way. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you may need to express and, use that charge in a controlled way to set a boundary, of course,
Mhm.
if there's something going on in your life, and that's very
Mhm.
healthy and useful. Uh,
Mhm.
but sometimes if it's a huge charge that
Mm.
really isn't about now. Obviously,
Mhm.
something's happened and it's triggered something from your history, and it's a huge charge that doesn't really feel relevant to the current situation,
Mm.
then you could do that and decharge some of the bigger energy, so then
Mm.
you can go back into relationship with the situation and handle
Mm.
it in a different way, or
Mm.
more of a, "Here I am, this is what I need to say, and this is
Mm.
what's coming up for me right now."
Mm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Great. Oh, what else is front of mind for you at the moment?
So the body and the mind connection is really important, I feel, and
Mhm.
then, um, over my time, as I was working with the somatic psychotherapy training,
Mhm.
the light language came through me as I was doing hands-on healing with people. Um, and at that time, it was around 2004. There was really no Facebook, or it was maybe early years. And,
Mhm.
and definitely people weren't talking about light language. I'd never heard of that expression at all. Um, so it came through, and I was like, well, I hadn't even heard of talking in tongues, which some people do say in the religious context. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I hadn't heard of any of that. And I spoke to a couple of my teachers, and they just kind of put it down a little as, oh, it's just baby talk. Yeah. And they weren't
Mhm.
really, because they hadn't any idea of what it was. But, and at first I was like, oh, so I felt a little dismissed. But also, I think it was Spirit's way of saying, no, 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 you're not ready, you're not ready to really work with this yet. I needed to
Mm.
be more grounded, and also the people needed to be ready to receive it. If
Yeah.
I'd started working with it in 2004, people would have, thought I was insane. Late
Mhm.
then later, around 2012, I I found a couple of people on Facebook that were working with it, and then I found the term light language. So if people don't know what light language is for your listeners,
Mm.
it's sort of a frequency of sound. It sounds a little bit like gobbledygook to the ordinary ear. And I feel like that is important because it's high frequency sounds that are coming through the channel's voice. It bypasses cognition, so you're not making stories about it. It's pure energy that is for healing or for transformation or clearing of the chakras, releasing of past life energies, so clearing the energy field. And it feels like people that do this, I feel like it's something they've done in other times and other lifetimes, and I feel like it's an innate kind of gift, not better or worse than anyone else's, just that particular person's way of working. And I feel that it's here to clear, light up, help us remember who we are, and become more embodied and open. So that's why I feel like the practitioner that's working with light language really needs to have done their own work and needs to be embodied so that they can bring it through in an embodied way. And then people resonate with it.
Mhm.
So this light language is galactic, I feel, or cosmic. Some people would say you're channeling cosmic beings. I feel like it's all from source indirectly. Sometimes you may be channeling through, say, a Palladian frequency or an Acturian frequency or an Andromedan frequency. But I think these are all aspects of our higher self, and that they're no different from an angelic energy or an elemental energy. And all of these energies are here to support us at this time. So many beings are here to support this collective shift in consciousness. And I think that's why light language is getting stronger right now in the collective field, because it's a way to calm the body. It's a way to activate the cells and raise the frequency, um, and to heal, to heal.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Beautiful.
also remember that we're not purely human. We do have um, galactic origins, if I dare say
Mm.
that. Yeah.
So, would
Mm,
you
mm.
channel some now, or you do that separately and have to set yourself up as a separate
No, no,
thing?
we can do that if you feel it would be useful or appropriate to your peeps.
Yeah, that'd be
Mm.
great.
So, is there anything you got feel to work with, or I can do what I feel? It's up. If
Mm.
there's anything you want to sort of tune in about.
Well, I was tuning in before this conversation about the
Mm,
crown chakra,
mm,
opening up the Sahasrara for
mm.
us.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So I guess, um, should we do a little guided piece? Because we've got a bit of time, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So this is a little practice that I do at the beginning of my workshops, just to anchor people through the ground before we receive galactic energy. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you put your feet firmly on the ground where you're seated at home, and feel the soles of your feet connecting with the earth. And taking a couple, 2 or 3 breaths, allowing yourself to just imagine that your perineum floor at the base of your body, it can just sit a little bit more gently uh, onto your chair or the floor, wherever you are. So this is just this is obviously the base chakra. This is the safety aspect of your being. So we're just saying, hey, it's okay to land. Anchoring in through that base chakra, and then imagining a golden cord of light going through the perineum floor into the center of the earth. 2 golden cords or threads going through the chakras in the center of the feet into the center of Gaia. Bringing our energy into the center of the earth and wrapping those 3 golden cords round an emerald crystal in your mind's eye. so that you feel really held, stable, grounded in your field, still in your mind as you begin to open to receive energies in the form of light language. So there's the 7 chakras of the physical body from the base to the crown chakra, and then there's chakras 8 to 12 above your head. And that crown chakra is the interface between physical matter and spirit or spiritual energy. So we want to invite now that your higher self at your higher source point at the 12th chakra rain down a golden energy through your astral chakras onto your crown center. And this energy is your pure divinity, your pure essence. It's not from any other being but yourself. It is from your original source consciousness. And as this energy rains down through onto your crown chakra, it opens up the crown to receiving these codes of golden light, these codes of abundance to fill your light body, to fill your physical body, to fill your energy field, to surround you in key codes or light codes of golden abundance. These are the resurrection codes that are coming in through this Easter period next weekend. So allow yourself to receive these energies as I just start speaking the language of light to help you assimilate these frequencies in through your crown, into your being, and also into your heart space. Jabadika Bandarika Barga Bogodarika Bashala Bagadika Bogodarika Bagadarika Laka. Jabatututorika Bagadarika Vegadika Batadan and the Shala Kapatutorika Bashala Kabaraka. Shalabagutututurika Bagadaraki. Shalabatututudaraki. Porcapocodaraki Patutoraki. Shalabata Pata Pata Patutututututututu. Shalabaga Pata Pata Pashapotututututu. Shilabakandara kabarko to the gipatataraki, tataraki kabarko to tatatatatatatatatatatatatato, Shilakabarki, Barki, Barki, Pototutaki. So then just allowing yourself to notice how you feel in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your third eye, in your crown. If anything has shifted, if there is a shift in your state, your emotional state, your energetic state, and in your own time, gently returning to the space.
Thank you.
Mm. Thank you.
Mm.
It feels like something's different now, hey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be great for me to get this episode up as soon as I can to share it.
I think people need this right now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this kind of really, it's a source connection that allows a widening and then a stillness and peace. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Transmission complete.
Sure.
Mm. So, how can people best find you and work with you, Michael?
So I have 2 websites, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the socials and YouTube. So if people are looking for like hands-on body work or to work therapeutically, somatically online, I can do it, as you can see, or or in the room here in Bridge. I also work from an office in Sydney once a
Mm-hmm.
month in Australia. But they can look at michaelmuir.com.au and that is
Mhm.
for more of the therapeutic kind of
Mhm.
somatic work. And then for channeling sessions, for
Mhm.
light language activations, for past life clearings, and all of that jazz. I've got soulmagiccollective.com, and I do group work on the East Coast, online as well, and yeah, so people can tune in to that. I do free little snippets from workshops on my Facebook, Michael Muir,
Mhm.
and also on my YouTube, Soul Magic Collective. So people can get a flavor for the light language transmissions and how they might resonate with them. All my work, I feel people find it through um, referral and just organic exposure, yeah? Because
Mhm.
it's kind of unique. It's kind of not for everybody, and that's fine. So I trust that the right people find it and come towards me. So if you check out my socials on Michael Muir, it really does give you a flavor of what I do. And it also gives you I keep updating my wall around workshops I've got. I work in Sydney, Melbourne, sometimes in Cairns and the Sunshine Coast. And
Mm.
obviously and most of the workshops I do, I stream them live in a Facebook Live group at the same time.
Mm.
And it's not quite as potent as it being in the space, in the room,
Mhm.
but it does, as you see from today, it still gives a strong energy transmission. So if
Mm.
you're not in one of the areas and you're resonating with one of the topics I'm working with, um, you can do the online version. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I've done that before, I'm sure of it, and also, tuned in to your Facebook when you've done live transmissions there, and it has happened very organically, and I wasn't even planning to jump on, and all of a sudden I'm there and I'm plugged in, and it was divine timing, so thank you for the work that you do and for joining me today.
No worries, my love. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. Thank you for listening. I am so grateful you're here. If you're loving these conversations and would like to be notified when new ones drop, remember to follow and subscribe. Have a great day.